Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Tanya. How is everybody doing? Let's get the preliminaries out the way. Welcome to my subscribers. Welcome back to my subscribers. Welcome to my new subscribers. And listen, welcome to the subscribers who don't know they're going to subscribe. But after this, they're going to subscribe. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday morning? Well, you ask how I'm doing? I'm doing well. I am up, moving about, got the activity of my limbs, got somewhere to go to work today, and so I am doing good. But look, do you ever just be like riding or just sitting home, anything, getting ready for work, and you just be like, or talking to your friends or your family, and you be like, man, girl, remember them days, them good old days. Boy, let me tell you something. If I could turn the hands of time back, boy, I used to remember getting on my mother. When I get grown, I'm not going to fuss at my children. Now, in my whole life, my mother has only had to spank me one time. That was it. And let me tell you something. That one time, out of my whole entire life, that taught me you don't want another one. So, with that being said, so I never got spankings. But then it was the punishment. But my mother wasn't good on punishment because if I got a bad grade in school, you were on punishment for the whole 6 weeks. My honey, that might have lasted about a day and a half, and then I was allowed to go outside. But you know how when your parents will fuss at you or put you on punishment or you ain't getting this, you're like, when I get grown and I have kids, I'm not going to do that to my kids. Okay. So let's just say my daughter tells my grandkids, y'all lucky because your grandmother wasn't like that with me and your uncle. So it's so funny. But then I think about the good old times when, wasn't adulting. Like, I had kids, but I lived with my mom like for so many years till my kids were like first grade, second grade, something like that. So, and I've always had help with my kids, family and stuff. And let me just tell you, it is too funny now. I think about, so me and my best friend, we talk about when we used to go to the club and we could just have fun and, didn't worry about nobody shooting or, and the club was my family's bar. So that was one thing that made me feel safe. And then two, was in the town that I grew up in. So, everybody knew everybody from police officers down, we knew everybody. But yeah, those were the good old days when you just had fun and, you weren't thinking about politics. You weren't thinking about bills. Of course you had kids and you were going to work, but it was just so much more different than it is now. Yesterday at my granddaughter's school, they were locked down and it had the police there because I don't know what grade it was, but some kids had gotten to an altercation. They said, no weapons were involved. And, when you don't hear from your child, we're sitting there scared to death, worried. And the way they communicate via email, which is good, but then it's bad because say a parent can't always, is in a place where they can't check their email, where my grandkids' school, their emails come to me because my email address, because I check my emails more frequently. So, that's how we knew, but it's just, we just didn't have to deal with those things back in the day. Sure, we dealt with our peers fighting, and stuff like that, but never where, the school had to get locked down. But anyway, on back to positive stuff. But I could just remember like going into New York City, like into Manhattan, where they had the all black book fair, and that's where I met a lot of authors. And back then, the author Zane, she was like, she was the it author. I don't know if she's come out with anything new, but she was no joke. And I never forget, I was at this one booth, and when Zane's bus pulled up and everybody was like, Zane was here, he was like, well, there goes all my, clientele, customers, whatever, because everybody flocked over to Zane's booth, and I had gotten some some books signed and stuff like that. But that girl was like, well, not a girl, but that lady, she was an awesome author. I don't know if she's still, writing, because I haven't really been reading a lot, but yeah, she was no joke. And something else I like too, The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. Now that was a good series, with Midnight and all that, and that was a good series. So I had enjoyed reading that. But I used to read so many books. Oops, excuse me. You know how it is when you ride and you're going over the train tracks. I'm sorry. And then Omar Tyree. I don't know. Well, I have not seen anything else by him. But it was just so much fun, things that you could do. So yeah, those were the good old days. And then I remember like Magic Johnson down on 125th Street. He had the Magic Johnson movie theater. Baby, let me tell you something. It was so nice. And they served food. So that was nice. So, just going down to the Magic Johnson theater, just going to 125th Street, get your oils, and then you go down on the west side to the warehouses and, buy your knockoff stuff and just try not to get locked in there. But it was just so much fun. Like, there was just, back in the day, like I said, you just didn't have to worry about, like, the things you worry about now. My best friend and I, we talk about what we feel nervous about, like, is our grandkids, because the trajectory of the way that the country is going, we worry about our grandkids and just want everything to be okay. But the only thing that I could do, that I do, is talk to my grandkids and like they say, try to raise them right, guide them right, teach them right. So that is that. And otherwise, life is life. Life is life. And but I'm thankful. And honey, let me tell you something. Yesterday it was so cold. It was so cold in my neck of the woods. It was so cold. But today, right now, it's only 59. But I'm stopping at the grocery store because I haven't had my oranges in a while, and I'm hoping they have the ones that I like. It's certain ones. It's the Cara, and the plastic over it, or the closure, it keeps it it's black. So I definitely hope they have that. There's gonna be something for breakfast. I'm supposed to get off early today. Then I'm off tomorrow. So you guys, I have not put in my vacation yet because I really don't know when to do it. I don't know when I want to do it. Like, I have more than enough time. I could take 5 weeks. I have 5 weeks of vacation and my time is still building. So I don't know what to do, where to go. I know I thought I was going to New York in August, but I haven't, because my cousin had said she had got married last year, and she said to me and my older sister, because we grew up with this cousin and we grew up together, so we call each other sister cousins, and she told us to save the date in August, but we haven't gotten anything yet. And so I'm so excited, like I'm ready to go, because this cousin, she's the one, her and her mom had owned the bar. And it used to be funny because on Friday nights when she was at the bar working, her and her partner, it was so much fun. And that was the night that everybody came. We had people from out of town come, and I'm telling you, when I tell you, it get packed up in there, and the dance floor be packed, and oh my God, you talk about fun. We had so much fun. And then down the street was another bar called Rudy's. So between Pee-wee's and Rudy's, that's where people were. And I mean, it was just so much fun. But and then again, there was no fighting, and everybody was getting along, and it was just, it was nice. It was nice. But then I take it even back further. When we were kids, and we used to make mud patties, and we used to play dodgeball and tag and hide and seek and catch the ladybugs and the lightning bugs, just all that stuff. But again, none of us, we did no fighting. Like the friends that I had, there was no fighting. Like, there was no fighting amongst us. Guess what? They had my oranges. I just went into the grocery store. Let me show you which ones I'm talking about. I dropped more change in my car. More change than the Lord allowed. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Looky, looky, looky. It's a Cara. But I'm going to tell you why I like them. Because it keeps me from eating junk. Because it has just enough kick and, sweet to make me not crave anything else. So I just, I love them. I love them. And I've always loved oranges. And that particular brand is one that I don't mind paying for. They were $3.99. So you think about it, a candy bar is going to cost you nowadays, like a regular Twix is $2 and some change. I'm telling you, this is just and maybe that's God's way of saying you don't need it. You know what I mean? But it's just ridiculous. I just remember the days when there was a little store in my town where I grew up, and it was called, it was two. When I was younger, like in elementary school, it was called Mike's. And the husband and wife, they were deaf. But let me tell you something, honey. They had a dog in there that looked like a wolf, and he won't play him. But I'm just saying, you could go in there and you could buy. We used to buy gum. It was called a Big Buddy, and it was a long. Let me know if you guys anybody ever grew up on the Big Buddy, and it was just a long thing, a long strip of gum, and it was a Big Buddy, and I was like, I don't even know if it was 25 cents. I mean, we could get 50 cents or 25 cents, and we know we had a lot. And then you go down there, you could get the penny candy, and they were little round candies, the little fishies, but they were little round candies, like a shape. And they were penny candies, and you could get the Now-a-Laters. But then I remember there was a store, this is when I was older, it's called AJ's. And you could go in there again, and you could buy the penny candy. I mean, they had the Jolly Ranchers, you name it, they had it. And just, you take $1, you going in, you getting 100 pieces of candy, and you going to school, and you no, you doing something. Well, honey, let me tell you something. That's just things they don't do anymore. Our kids, they don't get those luxuries. Now they got the Takis and the Sour Patch Kids and all that stuff. Well, we actually had the penny candy, and I mean, we'd mix it up. Give me 5 of those, give me 10 of those, and you just get 100 pieces of candy. And then they had the little cell phone, I can't think of how the bags were, but the little bags, and you just, man, those were the days, but, so if I could turn the hands of time back, let me tell you something, I would go back to them times, and I wouldn't say, when I get grown, I can't wait till I turn 18. And then I've always had long hair. And yes, the guys in school would pull my hair. Even back then, in the 80s, they would pull my hair to ask me, is that my real hair? Yes, it is. Bought and paid for by Medicaid. My mama had Medicaid. It was bought, paid for. So, but I remember I used to put my hair in a little ponytail, and I'd wear it to the side with my little flipped up bang, or I'd have, then I knew I was doing something when one part of the ponytail was up, then I have hair in the back out. Those were the days. Man, those were the days. Those were the days. And then just being outside and your mom tell you, you come in the house, when the street lights come on, you got to come in the house. Mom, can I just sit in front of the house? And where we lived, it was called Hunter Street. The name is Hunter Street. So on the corner, there was like we had a rock wall, but then on the corner we had a little rock wall. Then we had a flat rock wall that you could sit on, and it had a street light. So, you know, we used to go down to the corner and just be down there sitting on the rock and playing and talking and just having fun. Then that street light come on. Mom, can we just stay out a few minutes longer? We just right here. Long as I could see you, you know, baby, those were the days. Those were the days. Those were the days. But anyway, enough of my car chronicles. Those were the days. I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe. You know, let me know some of your childhood memories and stories and fun and, you know, things like that. I mean, look, we all have a good story. Somewhere in our closet, we have some good memories of life. So, with that being said, I thank you again. I'm so very humbled that you stumbled across my channel and that you have found something that interests you into watching, listening, and hey, going a lot further in subscribing to my channel. So until the next time, please make it a wonderful Tuesday. Peace.